Enrique and Julio Jr. were staying at the grandmother's house. I was helping them out with the homework, taking them to different places, the stores, the movies, bowling.
Mario Martinelli was a friend of the family since Enrique got to the States. He was a real good friend to Enrique, probably the closest friend.
He had learned that I have a small recording studio, so I took him to my house. He liked the studio when he saw it. He started, playing around with the stuff. He says, Mario, I want to ask you something. Can you teach me how to sing? Because I want to be a singer. I am not a singing teacher, but I took like 13 years of opera. I can train you the best I can. He said, well, first you have to promise me that you're not going to tell anybody.
And he wanted to make sure that it did not leak anywhere.
I don't want my father to know. I don't want my mother to know, nor anybody. I want to do it on my own.
They had called me to join them and work with them. Enrique just walked into the room. He was wearing jeans and they were torn and a t-shirt. And right away I said, my God, this kid is like a star.
We wanted to actually try him to see how it was going to work. So I said, Enrique, put the headphones, here is the mic, and let's get the sound.
Enrique had this sort of like raspy, different voice.
His voice was very, very green. It wasn't really ripe. He was not satisfied with his voice. He says, Mario, I really need to work on this. I used to pick him up and just take him over my house. He wanted to practice even if he was feeling sick.
We were working Andrews in Miami. When everybody was worried, Enrique would still get together with some guys in a garage with no power and still practice and write songs.
He wanted to write his own songs, so he had a chance to express himself.
I would sit at the piano and we would play chords and come up with a melody and lyrics. Enrique wanted very simple melodies. He would tell you, major chords. Julio also was into very simple melodic lines. And Enrique was following that pattern.
I would get to his house, like if we were to go to the movies or something, he's in the shower singing. I'm like, oh, that doesn't sound familiar. I'm like, where did that music come from? And it would be his songs.
His friends would call him to go out. He said, no, I can't go out now because I'm doing some work.
His family called me, do you know where Enrique is? I'm like, no, I guess he's at the beach. It's like 9 o'clock at night. Be stuck in the studio.
He was so disciplined, which is such an odd thing for a kid.
His father was dedicated to his job, 110%. Enrique always admired that about his father.
He had all his father's CDs and all his father's trophies and awards, and he would look up, and he'd say, I want to be like him or maybe bigger than him.
Enrique went to University of Miami for about a year and a half.
The parents wanted him to study.
He put on paper a business major. What did he really study? Nobody knows.
He would call me up and say, what courses are you taking? And I'd be like, what do you mean what courses I'm taking? I'm already registered.
When you're in college, you go as you please. And that was Enrique's launch right there.
He never completed the business course at the university.
He really didn't care about school at that point. He was full-blown in his music.
We were writing a lot of songs in my house, but since my room is very small, they needed a larger studio to do a professional demo.
The studio comes out to be extremely expensive. He didn't have the money.
It was $7,500. He didn't want to ask his father for the money because he said, what do you want $7,500 for? He would have to explain.
If he told his family, they'd tell him, shut up, go to school, get your degree, and get a real, a normal job. And so he went to his nanny, Rita, and asked for some money and says, hey, can you, spot me on this one? I'll pay you back one of these days. No one just hands out that kind of money to anyone and just says, okay, especially to a kid.
She says, no, don't worry about it. I'll give you the money.
That's the type of lady she is. She's like, an angel on his shoulder.
Enrique's first demo tape consisted of one Spanish song and 2 English songs.
He actually played me one of his songs on his demo, and I thought it was just amazing. I was like, wow, that's going to be a hit.
It was not like the rest of Spanish music that was played at the time. It was definitely much more Anglo, if you want to call it that. His songs tend to be sort of sad, like, you left me and I love you and you're not with me.
He said, Mario, I know I have a small voice, but I know I can get to the heart of the people.
He was thinking, okay, well, how am I going to market myself? How am I going to sell this demo tape to someone?
His family probably would have made a couple of phone calls and helped him out.
He said, I know my father could help me, but I want to know if I can make it or not.
Enrique wanted to do that on his own without any attachment to the name of Iglesias.
He says, I want to start like any other kid. I want to start from the beginning. I want to start from the bottom. He used another name because he didn't want to put Iglesias on the tape.
He'd go with Enrique Martinez.
He sent a demo tape to 2 or 3 labels.
Everyone rejected him. Sony, Polygram, BMG, you name it.
In the music business, sometimes they hurt you a lot, and you have to go through a lot, and some people cannot actually take it.
When someone tells you no, it's very easy to put your head down and say, all right, I'll try something else.
Every time he got rejected, he'd go back in the studio and try to make the song even better.
He was determined to do what he wanted to do against anyone, and I mean anyone.
Enrique, give up? Never.
You knock him down, but he's going to come back at you twice as hard.
Next, Enrique's big secret goes public.
Julio wasn't happy at first, and he was basically paying for college, and he's going to be a what? A musician?
He was in shock. Are you sure you know what you're getting into? This is ruthless. This business is, you're hot today and gone tomorrow.
And the critics attack.
People thought, oh, well, he's just taking advantage of his daddy's last name.
He didn't want to be the son of Julio. He just wanted to be Enrique Iglesias.
Later, Enrique faces his toughest opponent.
For the first time ever, a father and son, Julio and Enrique, are competing for the same award.
He was, I'm going to compete with my father. I'm not going to compete against my father. It's my blood.
That's difficult. That'd be a lot of pressure for him.
And the winner is?
He was as nervous as could be.
Fonovisa was a huge independent company. They were specialized completely in Latin music. They were kings of the Latin chart.
Giant in South America.
Guillermo Santizo, who was the president of the company, received this tape from somebody named Enrique Martinez.
I was on my way to Argentina. I took the tape with me in the plane.
And on the way from Miami to Buenos Aires, which is 8.5 hours away, we both heard the single like 40 times. The interpretation was very personal. It gave us goosebumps.
And Guillermo's like, I want this guy. I don't know who he is, where he comes from. I really don't care. I want this guy at all costs.
That's when we found out that he was Enrique Iglesias.
They called me and they told me they want